It was one of those quiet, windless nights where the world outside our small suburban home felt so still it almost hummed. My husband, Ethan, had gone to bed early after a long day at work. He had been working overtime for the past few weeks, and I could see the exhaustion in his eyes when he finally rested his head on the pillow. I stayed in the living room, curled on the sofa with a blanket over my lap, half reading a book and half listening to the distant hum of the fridge. The soft tick of the wall clock was the only sound until I heard a faint knock at the back door. At first, I thought I had imagined it. But then it came again, 2 quick taps followed by a pause. My stomach tightened. It was late, and no one came to the back door at this hour. I put my book down, stood up slowly, and walked toward the kitchen. Through the glass, I saw a shadowed figure standing on the porch, backlit by the dim glow of the neighbor's porch light. I felt a shiver run down my arms. When I opened the door a crack, a familiar voice whispered, "Ava, it's me. Please come outside for a minute." It was Noah, our neighbor from across the street. He was usually warm and chatty during the day, always offering to help with the yard or carry groceries from the car. But tonight, there was something different in his tone. "Noah, it's late. Ethan's asleep," I said quietly, not wanting to wake my husband. "I know. I wouldn't be here unless it was important," he replied, his eyes darting toward the street. "Please, just for a moment." Something about his urgency made my heart race. I hesitated for a second, glancing back toward the bedroom hallway. The house was silent. I stepped outside, closing the door gently behind me. The cool air wrapped around me like a whisper. We walked toward the edge of the porch, and I could see his hands trembling slightly. "Noah, what's going on?" I asked, my voice low. He took a breath before speaking. "I think someone's been watching your house, and mine too." A chill slid down my spine. "What do you mean?" He explained that for the past few nights, he'd noticed the same dark car parked a few houses down, engine off, no lights. The driver never got out, but the silhouette was always there, facing our houses. Tonight, when Noah took out his trash, the car was closer, just across from my driveway. "I didn't want to scare Ethan, but I thought you should know," he said. I scanned the street, and sure enough, a dark sedan sat under the shadow of a tree, almost blending in with the night. I couldn't make out the driver, but the thought of someone sitting there in the dark made my skin prickle. "What should we do?" I asked, gripping the porch railing. I already called the non-emergency police line. They said they'd send a patrol car, but I wanted you to stay alert, Noah replied. "If anything happens before they arrive, you call me right away." We stood there for a few minutes, our eyes fixed on the car. I could hear my own heartbeat in my ears. Finally, the car's headlights flickered on, and it slowly rolled down the street until it disappeared around the corner. When we went back inside, I locked the door and checked the windows twice before heading to bed. Ethan stirred as I climbed in next to him. "Everything okay?" he mumbled. "Yeah," I whispered, not wanting to alarm him. But sleep didn't come easy that night. I kept hearing Noah's words and picturing that shadowed car. The next day, I told Ethan about it. He was concerned, but not overly worried, thinking it might have been someone lost or waiting for someone. Still, he checked the security cameras we had installed on the porch and driveway. The footage from the night before showed the car, no license plate visible, windows tinted dark. It was there for almost 40 minutes. Days passed without incident, but I noticed Noah checking in more often, sometimes from his yard, sometimes sending a quick text. Everything quiet? One Friday night, Ethan had to work late, and I was alone in the house. Around 11 p.m., my phone buzzed. It was Noah again. "Car's back. Stay inside." I peeked through the blinds, and sure enough, the sedan was parked in the same spot, engine off. My pulse quickened. Then came another message. "I'm coming over." A minute later, there was a soft knock. Noah stood there with a flashlight, his eyes scanning the street behind me. "Lock your doors. I'll wait here until they leave." We sat in the living room, the clock ticking louder than usual. It was almost midnight when the car finally pulled away again. Noah exhaled slowly. "Something's not right, Ava. I think they're looking for something or someone." It wasn't until a week later that we found out what had been going on. The police had tracked the car to a man with a string of burglary charges. He'd been scoping out houses in the neighborhood, waiting for signs that no one was home. The fact that he'd been watching ours made my stomach turn. When they finally arrested him, the whole street breathed easier. Ethan thanked Noah for looking out for us, and I couldn't help but feel grateful for his persistence. That night he waited for Ethan to fall asleep before pulling me outside. It wasn't a moment of drama for drama's sake. It was his way of protecting us without causing panic. Even now, months later, I sometimes glance out the window at night, half expecting to see those tinted windows parked in the shadows. But I also know that, thanks to Noah, I'm not alone in keeping watch.